This episode is brought to you by Comcast Business. Whatever your day brings, they'll help you handle it with reliable gig speeds and advanced cybersecurity solutions. Every day in business is a big day. Comcast Business will keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Just got to get out there and swing and ding it.
Yeah, guess just gonna go out there and try to swing it and ding it.
Anyway, welcome to Swing It and Dig It. This is Moose along with Mays and Matthews. I am on assignment here, Lake George, New York, trying to refine my golf game. That's the mission here. It was so bad after the Derby. I put my clubs away for a couple weeks. This is 2 rounds in the mountain air up here just to clear my head and get the game back before member guest at Legacy Club, Harry.
Wow.
That's what I got to do.
Wow.
Sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you have to refine yourself.
And is that a Turtle Creek hat that we have on?
That's a Turtle Creek hat.
Yes,
yep.
sir. I love that. That place will be getting a lot of visits as we prep for the Swing It and Ding It Open.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Yeah. Well, last week was a lot of fun with Bennett from MyGolfSpy. And what I love about doing stuff like that is you have someone on and you wind up meeting other people because of them. And our next guest, Tyler, reached right out, founder of ForeLinksGolf, MyGolfSpy's 2025 Editor's Choice Glove winner, by the way. So, accredited source here to come on Swing It and Ding It. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me, and I'm really excited to be on here.
Yeah, man. Got up early. Guys out in San Francisco in the Bay Area gets up early to come on Swing It and Ding It. So win some points in our book for sure. So, Tyler, talk to us first. We want to get obviously into the company, the glove, and all that, but we like to start with the golf journey. What even got you interested into the world of golf, the game of golf, and had you kind of say, all right, this is where I'm putting all the eggs in?
That's a great question. So I was introduced to the game by my dad around, I would say 7 or 8, but I didn't really take it seriously until I was 13 years old. So right before I got into high school. And I think what really kind of leaned me towards playing golf and being serious about it, because I wanted to play a sport where I can just focus on myself. Unlike basketball or a team effort sport, it's kind of affected around the whole team. I wanted to kind of play a sport where it's me against me. So that's how I kind of found golf, and why I wanted to commit to playing the sport was to play against myself and see where I can take myself to the next level.
Awesome.
Yeah. And talk about like your junior golf, how much you played, like tournaments, how competitive you were, and how it kind of developed into, your business.
Oh yeah. Like most junior golfers, some of us get very addicted to it, especially when you hit that first great shot. So when I started playing golf at 13, started right before the summer of high school, and I was playing literally every single day. I only lived about 15 minutes away from a golf course in Southside San Jose called Santa Teresa Golf Club. And my mom would drop me off there around 7 in the morning before she started work. And then my dad would pick me up around 5 p.m. When he got off work. And then from there, I kind of met friends through the course, because it was also a junior hub. So I got to meet a lot of friends and got very competitive throughout that summer. And then growing up, or throughout my high school years, I competed in junior tournaments around the area called like JGNC, JTNC, and really built a competitive side of me of just kind of wanting to play at my best and compete at the highest level. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play in college, but I did get to play throughout my 4 years in high school, and it was definitely something to remember. And then in terms of how I got here with ForeLinksGolf, I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset. My dad being a business owner himself of construction, kind of gave me the inspiration to wanting to be my own boss one day. And I thought combining my entrepreneurial mindset with my love and passion for golf was something that I wanted to take on.
Yeah, and you used to work at that golf course until pretty recently, right? The course where you learned how to play, and it was kind of an emotional thing to have to say goodbye, because it just didn't fit into your schedule anymore, did it?
Very true, yes. So last June, I had just resigned from working at that golf course after 4 years working there. And the reason, there were many reasons, but I think for me, it just I wanted a little more time back. So alongside building, my golf brand ForeLinks and working that part-time job at the golf course. I still work a full-time job from Monday to Friday. So resigning from that golf course job was definitely tough, but I knew it was the right decision, especially where I wanted to take ForeLinks, and having that extra day of the weekend to kind of work on the brand. I thought it was the right decision to do.
Cool. Cool. Now, you're
Yeah.
typical, right? 60-year-old white guy in the golf industry, right? That's typically what it is. But that, you're in your 20s. You decide to launch this brand, self-funded. You
Mhm.
start out in the apparel world. Talk to us about those trials and tribulations, right? You decide, hey, this is what I'm going to do. What are some of the things you've learned? Some of the challenges to get you to finally where you are right now?
Yeah, great question. So, a little bit story about ForeLinks. We started back in 2023, and we did start initially as a clothing brand, but then after about a year in or so, I realized I was never into clothing, nor I knew how to design it. So I kind of just dropped the thing because it was very tough for me to market, and it requires a lot of upfront capital as well too. Like sometimes an entrepreneur who starts a clothing brand thinks if the first collection doesn't work, it's because of design, so they have to drop another one, and that right there requires a lot of upfront capital. So while I was still kind of figuring things out with ForeLinks, I was working behind the counter at the golf course, and I saw that golf gloves were a very high demandable product coming after golf balls. And I love how it's consumable. That if you create a glove, or that golfers just kind of replace their glove once it kind of gets worn out, they get a new one. And that's what kind of made me decide maybe I want to transition to selling golf gloves, because I feel that if I can create a golf glove that golfers can feel confident wearing, I might have something. But the story kind of takes place is that we actually started. So when we decided we want to start selling golf gloves, we started with a really bad glove, and I call that the Alibaba glove, where we kind of source suppliers, through Alibaba, and kind of stamp our logo on it. And when I got my first, I think it was 2,000 pieces at $2 a glove, I was just completely kind of heartbroken of how bad the quality was. I mean, it could pass us, my mom's gardening gloves. That's how bad it was. It was just so very stiff, very rigid. Did not feel like a glove you that fits like a second skin. And I was kind of a little bit saddened by the whole thing because it was an investment that I made, but I didn't want to give up. And I was really inspired by Phil Knight's memoir, Shoe Dog, to kind of go overseas and find a manufacturer that I can work with to build a glove that I can feel confident wearing. So in early of January 2024, when I was unemployed at the time, I flew to Indonesia and found a manufacturer that not only gave me a chance as a kid, but also was able to kind of meet an MOQ that they were able to work with. And from there, I kind of built a relationship kind of beyond business. And together we were able to create a glove that eventually got us an award for editor's choice on MyGolfSpy.
Which
Wow.
is incredible. So a
Yeah,
solo trip over to Indonesia. At what age was that?
I was 24.
24. Yeah. And
Yeah.
trying to find that partner and work with them, knowing how bad that gardening glove, if you will, or that first
Yeah.
product was. What are some things that you worked with this partner to make sure that the glove was right to get it to the point that it is an award-winning product?
Great question. I think first thing that comes down to creating a good glove to me is the materials. With the ability, or with my appearance to show up at the factory overseas, I was able to kind of hand select the leather I wanted to use. And my idea was to select a leather that is soft, but also has that nice second skin feel. And then after the materials is all about fitment. A glove should kind of fit like a glove, like a second skin. One little bit of looseness or one little bit of tightness could really affect your swing. And I always believe that golf gloves are equipment, not accessories. And your hands are the most important part of gripping a club. So if you can kind of get a glove that golfers can feel confident wearing, I think you have a winner. So fitment and materials were the two main things that we focus on building the caps off, which is the award-winning glove that we got.
That's
I like that
amazing. Wait,
idea of aligning the golf club with equipment rather than accessory. It's very true, and I don't think I've ever heard anybody else really say it that way before. So is that part of how you set yourself apart, because you're in a space with some really established brands that people are just
Right.
sort of comfortable with. Oh yeah, I'm going to get that FootJoy glove or whatever it is, and they're just sort of used to it. How do you find a way to sort of break in and find your niche within that space?
Great question. at ForeLinks, we do believe golf gloves are equipment, not accessories. So instead of focusing on colors and patterns and ball markers on straps, we do want to create that glove that golfers can feel great about wearing. And great question when you ask like how am I going to compete with brands like FootJoy or Titleist? And the answer is I don't. Instead, I want to carve my own lane and build a brand around story. And I do believe my story is my biggest asset. And if I don't tell it, someone else will. So, when I came back with the glove from Indonesia, I knew that having a great product wasn't enough and that people should know the story behind the glove. So that's why it was very important for me when I traveled to Indonesia. I was able to kind of document and film everything in terms of the craftsmanship and the journey of kind of going there. And people love seeing that transparency and that behind the scenes. And it gives them a little bit of a reason to kind of support it because they're very curious to see what it's like to wear a ForeLinks glove because of all that, documentary that you've seen.
Wow. Really cool. But all right, let's talk about the youth on course, right? Because that is such a big part of this. You donate
Yes.
$2 to every glove sold. You were a youth on course participant. We see the importance of it. Powers, our producer here, his daughter Peyton got involved with youth on course. We see what they do. Talk about that relationship to you and why that really makes this whole thing what it is, really.
Great question. Yeah. I mean, I think it was 2 months or 3 months after I got back from Indonesia that I knew that I've created a great product, or I think I've created a great product. And I knew that I had a story that I was still trying to build. I feel that nowadays people really like to buy from a person instead of the product. And I wanted to create a way to create an offer where golfers can buy with purpose. And usually, I was very inspired by brands like Bombas and Warby Parker who kind of give back for every product that they sell. And I wanted to somehow implement that with my brand. And there are a lot of brands a lot of organizations or nonprofits I can go towards in terms of, giving back, like, St. Jude's, Second Harvest Food Bank. But the reason why I chose Youth on Course is because it was something that I was a part of. And it was an organization that I knew very well because I experienced it myself as a junior. Playing golf for $5 or less. It's that simple. Their mission is giving access to kids to this amazing game that we have. So when I had the idea to give back to Youth on Course and pitch it to them, I thought it might be a solid one because it's kind of like a full circle moment. And when I did pitch it to them, they were more than excited to kind of have me on and to do something like this. So they kind of made like a campaign about it. But me giving back to Youth on Course is really kind of my way of saying thank you to the organization that kind of allowed me to play golf
Yeah.
without that financial barriers growing up. I got to play amazing courses that you might have heard of, like not Spyglass, Spanish Bay, TPC Harding Park, Poppy Hills, all them great courses in the Bay Area for only $5 or less. And that's
Wow.
something that, I was able to kind of enjoy moments with my dad because he was able to afford it because he's a golf as well too. So giving back is my way of saying thank you and hopefully inspiring other people that, giving back doesn't have to equate to a dollar amount, but as little as, spreading more word about the great organization like Youth on Course or, inspiring people to kind of helping the next generation of golfers.
That's incredible. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
love
thank you.
that backstory and love what you're doing. I think we need to get, is it Shihuan Shang, the golfer out of Cal, who
Berkeley?
switches switches his glove
I've seen
every
that.
single shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might need to slide into his DMs and get some more
Good customer.
revenue there and give back a little bit more, right? We
Funny
did
you
the
said that.
math. Harry did the math.
Yeah, the math is incredible. The amount of money he spends or somebody's spending on golf gloves.
And that just shows how important golf gloves are to some people, that feel is everything. And again, your hands are the first point of contact, so you want a glove that gives you that ultimate feel. And he's a definitely a perfect example of who we want to target for golfers and avid golfers who care about feel and performance.
Yeah, please slide into his DMs after this. But talk to us. Just tell me what's upcoming with the company. Anything new? Are we going to do variations in colors? Are you going to explore new products? What does the next year look like for you guys?
Yeah, so the glove that we were able to win Editor's Choice for MyGolfSpy, the Caps Off, was a glove that we've been selling for almost 2 years. And we had just released a new glove to kind of pair it with it. It's called the Range Soft. And it's a glove built for the range, for practice. And how this idea came about was that I've noticed that golfers are using our Cab Soft glove, which is a very thin Roberta leather glove, on the range. And what happens to that is that it shortens the life of the Cab Soft a lot quicker because you're not constantly taking out the glove like you were on the course, and you're hitting 100 balls within an hour. It really could cause a lot of damage to the glove itself. So why not create a glove built for the range where golfers kind of rotate their glove and preserve the gamer glove, which is the Cab Soft for us in this sense. So that kind of gave me the idea to promote the idea of not having another durable golf glove, but to promote the idea that golfers should have a rotation system. One glove for the course, one glove for practice. And that way you can really preserve your gamer glove for when the moment matters the most. So that's the new product that we have just released. And our goals for the next years or 2 years or so is to really build reputation around the Cab Soft and Range Soft, that we created a rotation system for golfers that golfers can kind of lean towards to.
Do you guys have a rain glove too?
No rain glove yet. That's definitely in the works and has definitely been brought up a lot. But I think the Range Soft and the Cab Soft, since they're more ideal seasonally, and being a self-funded business, we always want to focus on what we can dial in, year round. But rain glove is definitely in the picture. Junior gloves, however, we are expected to release something that sometime this fall.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Very cool.
I want to see that range glove. That sounds awesome.
As somebody who practices a lot, because I need to practice a lot, the range glove and the player glove, your gamer glove, so to speak, the differentiating is a great marketing piece, I think, for the brand. And what I used to do, and will do until now, since I met you, is I would keep my old gloves, the ones that would have, they get a hole in them here or there, wherever the wear marks are, and I'd keep one of those or two of those in my bag and just use those on the range, and then I'd use the gamer glove. So I like that idea, but I want to order some of these range pros from you, because that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you brought that up because as a kid as well too, I would use kind of my beat up gloves and save them instead of throwing them away and then use them for the range. But I feel that when you practice and you play, it should feel the same, right? You shouldn't feel like you feel like an extra hole on your palm when you're practicing, and then you have a glove that fits super well when you're playing. And that was very important when we were developing the Range Soft, that we wanted to create a glove that felt like your gamer glove. So instead of going into the materials like synthetic or microfiber, that on paper it is more durable than leather, we just didn't feel like it felt this as pure and superior as leather gloves. So we actually stayed with leather for the Range Soft, made it more reinforced, added extra paddings in the wear or in the areas that get the most wear, and then we've created a glove that not only feels like your gamer glove but could withstand longer practice sessions.
And then you got the glove holder too. You got to get the glove holder to put the glove in to keep it from wrinkling up and getting all hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we do have the glove holder, that you can organize your gloves, but also the main benefit of it is so that, when it comes to having a long sweaty day and your glove is all wet and everything, ideally you want to put it in a place where you kind of trap that moisture, because what you do is when you have a hot day and then you leave your glove out, it actually crushes up the glove and actually causes it to feel very
brittle.
stiff.
Yeah.
Brittle.
Yeah.
So that's why golfers before, like even myself, I would put my golf gloves in a Ziploc bag so that it can maintain that moisture and keep that softness to it. And the glove holder is just a nice little accessory that you can have to make things look a little pretty, but also again preserve your gloves a little longer.
Really cool. Yeah, you think Harry's got old golf gloves? You should see his underwear drawer. He's got some Fruit Looms hanging on from back in the
Holes
day.
in them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very brittle. They're very brittle.
Hangs on the stuff. But
How do you know that?
Danielle. Don't ask too many questions, Tyler. I'm just starting to get to like you. Well, I'm going to let Danielle wrap up the show as we always do, but I just want to give you a chance to let people know, where to find you, what they should be looking for. Great follow on Instagram, just content-wise, which I think is such important, obviously, in today's world. And when it comes to products, is you have to be consistently out there telling people about yourself and what's new. So you're doing a great job there. Just tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, so you can reach us at on Instagram and TikTok at ForeLinksGolf. That's FORE Links Golf. And our website is the same, ForeLinksGolf.com, FORE LinksGolf.com. we are very active on social media in terms of building a founder-led storytelling brand. So you can really see the behind-the-scenes transparency of building a golf brand and being in the same space as FootJoy and other amazing golf brands out there. So our journey is really just to keep pushing our story, and we tend to do so on social media.
Awesome.
stuff.
Appreciate it. Thanks. As Moose said, every single guest that we have on, I have to ask this question. Have you been to the Philadelphia region?
I have not. I have not, but I would love to. I know it's a
Wish
big
list,
sporting
yeah.
city, so yeah.
Wonderful. Well, we refer to the area of having an embarrassment of riches in terms of our golf courses. There's so many incredible courses there. If you're familiar with any, is there one that's on your bucket list or that you really want to play in the area?
In Philadelphia, not yet really. I haven't really done much research about golf courses in Philadelphia, truthfully, but I've heard amazing things about it. I have an uncle who has a family that lives there. I love Rocky films, so like I kind of always want to go to the downtown
Run up the art
Philadelphia.
museum steps.
Yeah, I'm a big Rocky, Creed. I love that movie franchise, but I definitely would love to visit Philadelphia one day.
Very cool.
Love
Well, if
that.
you're ever in the
Little-
area, hit us up. We'll check out the gloves and do a little.
Is there a
run up the art
favorite course that
museum
you guys
stairs.
have? Is there a favorite course that you guys have over there?
There's a
Oh,
lot.
we
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
on this show, I mean, obviously, you hear people talk about Pine Valley, which is close. Marion, Aronimink, Philly Cricket, Rolling Green. The list is pretty long, so we get a pretty wide variety of answers. A lot of times it's top heavy with some of the
The
big
Pine
golfers we
Valley
have
and
on
the
the show.
Marion.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, that's a nice thing about golf, or what I love about it, is that you can find ways to travel and experience in these places. Have you guys visit California and played golf here, like in Monterey? And
Yeah, I actually just got back. I got
From
my Hay
Pebble.
sweatshirt
From
on
Pebble.
from
Yeah.
Pebble.
Yeah.
Yeah, just got back
Awesome.
a couple of weeks. Yeah, incredible.
First
out
time
there. And I
playing
saw- I've been lucky enough to get out there a couple times. Not sure if that's happening anymore, but we'll see. But yeah, it was funny, like seeing Spanish Bay. Our friend Gil Hance and Jim Wagner, Philly guys, you brought that course up. To see that getting a complete facelift was pretty wild to see firsthand.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. I recently was just there not a month ago, and it looks great from just kind of. I was able to attend an event at Monterey Peninsula Country Club, not too far from Spanish Bay, and it was looking great, and I can't wait for the renovation. And I got to play at Pebble Beach for the first time last year. I surprised my dad there for his 55th birthday, and what was funny was that I actually told him I booked a tee time on Spanish instead, and then I made some excuse saying I had to go to the Pebble Beach shops to buy something for a friend. But instead, I checked in for Nguyen Tucson, and he was just super surprised and a little nervous too. With that first tee box.
First tee shot's tough, man.
Yeah, but we and it was a crowd that day for some reason. Like there are a lot of tourists that day.
Yeah.
And the best part is that we both played well, and we both birdied the iconic 7 together. So that was
Amazing.
something.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's my favorite round, or most memorable round so far in my books. Yeah.
That's
I love
awesome.
that.
Well, hopefully
I love
many more in store. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you,
everyone.
Danielle. Thank you, everybody.
Follow on Instagram, and we're excited to check out those range gloves and the other ones too.
Absolutely. We'll love to send you guys some and give you guys a little check out on the gloves.
ForeLinksGolf, a rocky story in the golf world. That's for sure. We like that, Tyler. Great stuff. Thanks for coming on. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Feeling lucky? Head to Parx Casino, the #1 casino in Pennsylvania, for the $20,000 weekly blackjack tournament. Every Wednesday this summer, play for your share of $20,000 in weekly prizes. Take your seat Wednesdays from 4 to 8 p.m. First place wins $10,000. That's $2,000 cash plus $8,000 in free slot play or match play. This is how you win. Parx Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino. Visit parxcasino.com for details. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, welcome back to Swing It and Ding It. Tyler Nguyen, founder, ForeLinksGolf. Guy gets up at 5:30 in the morning to come on Swing and Ding It. Talk about a hustler. What a great story. Young guy just going for it in this world and like coming up with something that is in need. Harry, that range glove makes so much sense. I started doing, my buddy used to keep all his gloves still in the pack, and he would put them with like the golf balls so they stay straight. And I was like, huh. And I started doing that. But then you get lazy. Then you just strap it on the front of the bag when you're in a rush. And then those things get beat up. But another repeatable product. We talked about the golf ball, how important it is, right? Some stuff you might buy once every 15 years, some of us. But this stuff is really smart. So excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I love the whole angle of $2 of every glove sold going to the youth on course, the giving back thing that got him involved in the game. And you talk about a work ethic. I mean, this guy's been, staying up till 1, 2 in the morning, doing, getting this company up and running. And then he'd have to get up at like 4 in the morning to go open the golf shop at the golf club that he started playing golf at. And he did it for a couple of years until he just couldn't do it anymore. But this guy's got an incredible work ethic. We love hearing those stories, and can't wait to check out the product.
Yeah,
I love how almost everybody that we talk to who's grown up in the golf world, it's very similar stories of parents would drop me off at the course at like 7, 8 a.m. and then come back at 7 p.m. and just, you're growing up. Like that's your job as a child, is just hanging out on the golf course. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm good with that happening. Just fix your divots, repair your ball marks, and clean up the short game area, because it's not my job. Okay?
Easy. Yeah.
Got it.
It's easy.
And don't try to drive the cart.
Exactly. Yeah.
Left side.
Well, as we wrap up the PGA Tour season, the BMW, Wyndham Clark, he starts with a 5-shot lead, loses it, then finishes with 3 straight birdies to finish with a 70, 17 under, gets the win. Rory shoots 69. But to me, the story was Patrick Cantlay. Comes in 43rd, shoots a 68, solo second, shoots down to 19th. But yeah, just an incredible win. And question for you guys before we get into it. Now, Wyndham Clark, right? 3 wins, U.S. Open, and a playoff. Is player of the year right now?
He's right there.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah. He's like that uninvited guest that comes to the party. He shows up at the door, he brings you something, but you're like, he wasn't on the invite list. But now you can't really be too rude and throw him out. He's kind of earned his way in. But nobody, outside of his family, wants to see him win this thing. Because for some reason he's just not that likable. For a couple of reasons. I kind of think he is, because he's just so uber talented. He kind of just gets in his own way because of what's in here. But the guy's got the incredible game, and right now he's right at the front of the pack. In my view, for player of the year, because you got to win. He's got 3 wins, and one of them was a major. So that puts him right up there. Matt Fitzpatrick has, 3 wins, but no majors, right?
Yeah.
Cameron Young has a players and another, I think he's got, 1 or 2 other wins. So he's kind of right there. But Scotty has 2 wins and no majors, but the best stats.
Yeah, the stats.
Right?
I got to disagree with you here, though. I do like Wyndham.
You do?
I do. Like, look past the whole locker room debacle. Like, I think I'm over that. And I feel like it just humanized him. It showed his emotion. Like, bad luck. You shouldn't have done that. But he apologized, and I think he's fun to watch. He's fun to root for. I enjoy watching him play golf. I definitely would not be upset if he won Player of the Year. But
what do you think about you get the 8-iron, you put that behind the ball.
Yeah.
You get the 9-iron, you put that behind the ball. You take a couple little practice swings. I don't know. I can't imagine he sees the camera staring at him.
Yeah.
Right? I just don't know what goes through these guys' heads. Like, are you really just trying to get away with it and you think no one will see? Or are you really not, and it just is part of your game? I cannot for the life of me figure out what the hell's going on there.
Yeah, well, and we've had so much of the media throwing in that mental coach and everything that he's been going through and whatever. Maybe that's part of it. Like you said, you can't figure it out. I'm not sure either, but maybe we do need like an actual, stopwatch or time clock right there, put a shot clock out there. And
well, it looks like he's improving his lie is what really I think the thing is. And if it's funny because the network pointed it out, like Nobilo and Immelman both kind of said, "Hey, look what he's doing here." Like they intimated that he may be improving his lie.
Watching it live, did they say it in the?
They said it in real time on the 14th hole, right of the fairway. He's in the rough by a few feet, and he took 2 different clubs, an 8-iron and a 9-iron, and he put it behind the ball. Then he'd take a swing. Then he put it behind the ball, take a swing. Then he got another club out. And I get guys trying different irons. I understand it's not a problem, but if you're pushing down, like the rule states, if you're like kind of pushing down into the ground, that's a violation. And I don't know if he did it or not, but the network thought it looked a little funny. and made mention of it. So I credit them for at least bringing it up. He was asked about it, and he just sort of scoffed it off as saying, people see what they want to see. You know, I'm nothing to see here, basically. I know what I did. I didn't cheat. And I don't know if he did. But the thing is, if Patrick Reed did that, or if Bryson DeChambeau did that, they would automatically be thought of as cheaters. It's just funny how that works out.
That is funny. I didn't see that. I didn't see that go down. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he was talking about. So he literally the ball's placed, and during tournament he literally was sitting.
Oh, he
down.
places it behind. Now I don't know if he's pushing down, or if he's just resting it on the grass, because the rule states that you're allowed to rest it on the grass. You just can't push down and really push the grass down, in essence, to get to the back of the golf ball and improve your lie.
And this was just last week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he's done this many times. He did it in the U.S. Open. We talked about it. He did it on one of the holes in the U.S. Open when he was in the fescue, because when we had the whole DeChambeau kerfluffle, I brought up the Wyndham Clark at the U.S. Open. He did it too. So, yeah, you know, I don't know.
If it was Bryson, this would be.
Oh, totally. Or
But
Patrick
I think
Reed.
at this point now, I think he will have that. Like after this many, offenses, I think now he will get that treatment that Bryson or Patrick.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
When
I
he's
mean, he
going to
pulled
be
out
under
the
the
8-iron.
light.
I mean, when he got the weed whacker out of the bag, I thought he went a little bit too far with that. You know, that was
The Jurassic.
But I like when it's like, you'll see what you want to see. It's like, no, we saw what happened.
Yeah, we saw it.
Right on
I
the
gotta pull
club.
that up.
Yeah, you got to go look at it.
Yeah,
I think it was on the 14th hole.
All right, so there's an asterisk maybe by my hot take.
But it is fun to watch. I mean, you know, he's entertaining.
I think so,
You know,
yeah.
things can blow up. I mean, he's a guy that can go shoot, you know, like 30 or 39 or 40 on the front nine, and then come back with a 29 on the back nine. He's you know, boom and bust. But man, when he's going, he's as good as they have on the tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
So.
Rory came back and decided to play this week.
Yeah.
Some of the
Yeah.
other
Yeah,
guys
how
really
about
put
that?
themselves in good spot to get themselves into that 30. But yeah, I mean the golf, just watching golf at that venue just doesn't
No.
like do it for me, right?
No.
Like you don't get fired up to watch that.
I
don't know.
told you. Like
Yeah,
I'm glad you like just took a look at it for what it was. You know, it's a fine golf course, but there's nothing. You don't really walk away saying wow. You know, and I get not every golf course is going to have that kind of architecture, but it's like every hole kind of looks the same. That's the impression that I got from it. But man, you brought up Cantlay. And I think you're going to mention him again here in a minute. Man, there's something about that BMW Championship that just gets him going. He's got a couple wins in that event. They move it around. It doesn't matter where they play it. He shows up for the BMW Championship.
He does put himself in a great spot.
Yeah.
You know, and now he's in that 30 at East Lake, and
He plays well there, too.
Yeah.
He's jumped up the board for sure on the Bet Parx leaderboard. He has improved his position. He would have been a bit of a better value a couple weeks ago if you liked him, because that is gone now. But I mean, we'll talk about the changes that are coming with to the playoffs, and I think it's needed, right? I don't think there's a huge buzz around it this year. You're going to have two series next year: the championship series and the Challenger series. You'll have that, series finale. You'll have the 32 kind of World Cup style match play, which is going to be exciting. So looking forward to the 28 changes. Sorry, not next 28 changes. Because I think everyone realized something needed to be done.
Yeah, for sure.
Danielle, do you want to spill some tea, and then we'll see where that takes us?
Yeah, let's go. Let me just switch over my notes. Okay. Well, I guess we have to start with the elephant in the room. It's been all over social media. Good, and Callaway looking bad, very, very poor choice in marketing. I'm not sure how it got through this many layers, but a clear miss, poor messaging. The video was produced by Good. However, it was approved by Callaway. Apparently it was a attempt to spoof on a movie, but still wondering again how it got through that many layers. And the golf community is rightfully, reacting, and as well as golf companies. Employee at Golf Galaxy took a photo of, a cart, and they said they got an urgent message from corporate yesterday saying all good merch needs to be pulled from the shelves immediately. We heard PGA Tour CEO Brian Rolap. He weighed in on calling Good's initial response disappointing, said it questioning the relationship with the upcoming championship event. Golf Channel issued a programming note yesterday announcing they're postponing the premiere of Big Break and Good until next Tuesday because they need to have that necessary production time for updates because there was a request from the show sponsor to remove branding from the series. So just overall, terrible messaging, a huge miss. And again, how does it get through that many layers? Who watched that and said like, okay, yeah, let's move forward with this?
Yeah. It is true. Everything you said is true, but I just find it kind of humorous the way everybody now is running for the hills, right. Away, because if they don't run to the hills, it's deemed like they're supporting violence against women, which is stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Okay, yeah. I tweeted this the other day because I just had to get some thoughts out on it, and I know we no longer have a Twitter feed, which I still am wondering how the heck we can get that back. But it was after Chip Brewer, who's the CEO of Callaway, issued their statement, which I thought was the most well-constructed statement that, of the obligatory statements that were put out. And I said, I go, not sure what was worse, the initial idea, the fact that it got rubber stamped and produced, as you mentioned, Danielle, the feigned moral outrage, or the apologies. And then I just said, as a podcaster in the golf space, I'm envious of Good's success and partnership with the Callaway brand, and recognize that this quote-unquote bad idea and the reaction to it probably boosted awareness tenfold for GG. That said, in this climate, not everyone gets the joke, so it's better left on the cutting room floor. And then I just said I'm a fan and I continue to use Callaway equipment, and I'm going to try my best to hit my quantum as far and as straight as I possibly can. So,
I like Harry's take because it's not like all the females in the industry that are coming out. Like Claire Hoggle said, like she came out with an entire thing to, probably capitalize on attention too. But like women in this space who, we have to deal with men telling us this and that and victimizing. And
sure.
and it does happen. Believe me, when I go to a public golf range, I have 5 men coming over trying to tell me, a little swing tip or what to do, or just want to chat with me. It's like there are elements of women being in this space that you get some of that. But Harry, I agree with you, and not everybody had to jump out and say something. I do I reference Ryan French with Monday Q all the time. He put out a great post and showing how great Callaway has been for women in the sport, and how they've donated money back and equipment for a lot of the things that Ryan does, and for women's golf. So again, just poor taste, a bad moment.
And it's the thing is like, I don't know if Chip Brewer ever saw this thing until all the noise that was created, because I didn't even know about it. I didn't know that there was a co-marketing club between Good and Callaway. Like, I didn't even know this thing existed until now. So in that sense, it got me to notice it. Okay. And I'm sure hundreds of thousands of other golfers probably were in the same boat as me. They weren't even aware of it. But the fact that this got produced and so many people along the line had to say, oh, this is a great idea, let's do it, is amazing to me.
Well, that's what also in the back, I was like, was it intentional?
Yeah, well, yeah. But
I think what happens is these companies are so desperate to be relevant on social media, and they don't know how to do it. So they say, all right, these are the biggest people in social media. This has to be, let's do whatever they want to do because we need to be relevant in social media, right?
You're talking about Callaway's viewpoint, linking with Good initially.
Yeah. Good being
and letting it go through.
Right.
Letting it happen. I think they let it happen because, well, they're the biggest in the space. They know what's good. We don't, that's not our world. We make great equipment, right? I think most companies are so bad at social media that they'll listen to anybody who is good at it, so.
Yeah. No, that's a great take. And I, being in that space, I have a lot of companies that come to us too, and they say like, oh, you guys tell us like, what is the cool thing right now to attract, those younger clients? We have all the, the 40 through 60. We want the, 20 through 40. How do we get that? And they probably did. They were like, all right, good knows, and not realizing. So just still that many layers with not one red flag popping up.
Yeah.
It's just questioning that.
Well, it's so funny because I had a guy complain to the program director at 1210 WPHT about me yesterday regarding this.
About your tweet?
Yes,
your
and
ex?
the PD emailed me and said, I think this is the first time I've got a complaint about you, LOL. And this guy, he copied this guy's email. He said, you might want to take a look at this guy's X handle. And he puts my Twitter handle, at Harry Mays TU. He goes, he claims to be a contributor on your station. Well, it's not just a claim, I am. And is going around supporting Callaway Golf and their commercial promoting women's violence. Not a good look for you. That was the email. And I'm like, yeah, LOL. I'm promoting women's violence or violence against women. Like, what a dope. He didn't even get it right, So that, and then it's unbelievable. So I get a complaint to a radio programmer about a tweet that I put out where I am in no way endorsing violence against women. Like, if you read the thing,
Read that again.
Yeah.
You just read it to us verbatim. And, all right.
Amazing.
So Harry's tea is hot right now.
It's when idiots and keyboards meet,
Yeah.
Yep, the keyboard gangsters. You gotta love them. This I gotta laugh about. I think it's kind of funny too, because at first I was like, wait, is there like accuracy behind this? Is it right? Coming out from the Financial Times, Sergio Garcia during the April's Masters, he lost it on the second tee. We all saw it. Slammed his driver into the turf after he shot ended up in the bunker, and then proceeded to take his driver and smack it against a cooler, and the head flies off. The Financial Times reported that this embarrassed Yasser, Your Excellency, who's been steering the live boat, and that people familiar with this matter say his embarrassment over the incident helped push him towards pulling PIF's funding from live. A lot of notes coming out saying that he wants to be a member at Augusta, and obviously the situation of one of his players and the league that he's steering would hurt him. But a caveat worth mentioning: internal discussions about PIF pulling funding reportedly started before this happened. So did Sergio actually cause this decision? It's coming from the Financial Times, but also people saying
I think
maybe
the
that
PIF probably
meltdown.
like that Callaway ad,
Yeah.
with their history of women. I think they were looking for any possible reason to be mad at Liv. Right? It could have been Sergio, could have been anybody. They're like, what happened? Okay, we're not continuing giving him any money because of this.
Yeah.
I still, it just reminds me of how unfortunate it is that Sergio's major championship took place at Augusta. If he's going to win a major, let him win the PGA or the Open Championship or something. It shouldn't have been the Masters. For a guy who spits in the cup and does all this, histrionics in the bunkers. I mean, he's an idiot.
Harry, wasn't that like that first tournament we walked together? We watched Sergio play, right? Yeah. And I think shortly after that is when things started spiraling out of control. Player of the Year, we lightly touched on that, but just wanted to talk to you guys about it. JT, if you saw that on X, pardon me, I liked his take. It's really long, but he said, my random opinion that nobody asked for in the Player of the Year race. And he said, it makes it interesting because, I'm shortening this up here, but he said, there's so many ways to look at it. And it's just like our earlier discussions and our discussions the past several years. It's like, Harry, you said just when we come down to numbers, it's Scotty. When we come down to majors, it's Wyndham. But JT said, personally, I always view the difference of a good and great season and how many tournaments or majors a person has won. I think the best way to really debate it is which season would the players themselves actually rather have. And I like the way he framed that.
Yeah.
So would you rather have Scotty's season or would you rather have Wyndham's season? And when you frame it that way, it's like, well, give me the major, right?
Yeah.
So, it's a very long post on X, but wanted to ask you guys, with framing that, what are your thoughts? Who do we think is Player of the Year?
Moose.
Yeah, I gotta go Wyndham Clark. I think you win a major. I mean, obviously this weekend matters a lot, right?
Yeah.
If Scotty wins this whole thing. If Wyndham wins the whole thing, it's a wrap, right?
Right.
But short of that, if Rory goes out and wins it this week or someone else, I still think you got to give it to Wyndham Clark. It's been a weird season, right?
It is a weird season.
A lot. Like, in past years, it was like Scotty and no one else.
Right.
You have Goddard who's won, right? A lot of guys jump out early in the season and you forget about them if they don't do anything in the majors or anything lately. Same thing with Cam Young. So for me, it's Wyndham.
Yeah, I mean, if Cam Young jumped up and won this week, you put him with the Players, the Cadillac Championship, which is an elevated event. He's kind of in the weeds the last couple of weeks. Hadn't been playing the best, but if he found his game this week and won it, you'd have to put him in there. But I think if you gave me a vote right now, I'd have to say Wyndham Clark, because even though Scotty and Brandel Chambly made the best case for him, and he's been the guy sort of blowing this horn. That's what he does, and he'll continue to blow it long after the vote has been cast, I'm sure. And kudos to him for it. That's what he does. But I don't think anybody's going to really remember, outside of Scotty, the stats after this season. Like 5 years from now, are you going to remember that the statistical season that he had when he had 2 wins, which weren't elevated events or majors? Or are you going to remember the fact that Wyndham Clark won the U.S. Open at Shinnecock Hills, and a playoff event? Like, to me, I'd have to go Wyndham Clark by a nose.
Yeah, I share the same thoughts, and exactly what you said. It comes down to this week. If Cameron Young or Wyndham wins East Lake, it's a different discussion. I do have to be honest with looking at the stats. So 9 T5 or better finishes plus the St. Jude blowout. It just shows that level of dominance, even with only one other player, to be that close to him. It's not empty consistency. It's a guy that's, everyone's in his rear view all year long. And that stands out as player of the year. He's just he's insane. But when JT framed it, if I'm a player, which season am I picking? I think I'd rather have, a major. And that would give the case of Wyndham. So.
Yeah, and last week Scotty Scheffler got out to that bad start, which is what plagued him for the majority of the first half of this season, where he'd just have a so-so or a quote-unquote bad round. A lot of other guys would be okay with that bad round, but for Scheffler, it was a bad round, and then he could never quite catch up to win, but he'd finish second or third or top 5.
So excited to see what happens this week, but we'll see. Our internal group text message that we have has been pretty hot this week, and Moose shared with us the Chad Mums tweet, and he framed it in saying, essentially, I'm paraphrasing here, but if you were made president of golf, not of the PGA Tour, just of golf in general, and you had all the power, right? So guys, if you wake up tomorrow and you're suddenly named that president of golf, total power, any rule, any structure, any change you want, what is your first move?
Harry, go ahead.
Well, I responded to Chad. I saw this and I'm like, this might be, some good stuff. Because I like looking at the comments. I like looking how everybody replies. Yep. That's what, is entertainment for me. I mean, if you go through the whole thing about the good, the responses are unbelievable. It really makes you wonder about, society sometimes. But I saw this and I go, I'm going to reinstate Rahm and put him on the keto diet. I want John Rahm back on the tour very badly. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think mine would be kind of aligned with that. I think it's just, I don't care about people whining about, these people should be punished. Wipe the slate clean, get the best thing for the viewers and the fans, get golf to back wherever it needs to be. I think you're seeing a little bit of that, right, with possibly, another global series coming. I was going to say do something about, fixing, moving a ball in a divot in the fairway, but I think that's too hard to do. I think you just got to wipe the slate clean, start golf over with the reset, let bygones be bygones. Some people made money, some people lost money, some people are going to be pissed. That doesn't matter to the golf fan, right?
Right.
That matters to the people who are winning or losing money. Get it back to where it needs to be with the best product for everybody.
Yeah, I have to agree, Moose, exactly. Let's put the best players in there so everybody wants to watch. It's back to how golf should be, in my opinion, with the PGA Tour, with the best competing against each other week in and week out. Obviously, there's some scheduling things that, the schedule fatigue problem I'd want to work on, and I would love to add in a legit match play event. I think that would just be fun. I love watching that type of golf, and some other things. It might not be smart decisions for the world of golf, but for me personally, what I like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we need a PGA Tour event every week.
or
You know what I
9
mean?
different tours.
Exactly.
Like the PGA Tour, the Challengers Tour, the Korn Ferry Tour, the PGA of Americas Tour. It's like, for us golf psychos who pay attention to those others, but it's like I have a hard time keeping up with the PGA Tour and Korn Ferry. I don't even really pay attention to any women's golf, and now there's going to be a Challengers, and then there's also PGA of Americas. It's like, I get Dev Tours. Well, I guess it's like MLB. I'm not paying attention to like AAA baseball.
Right. You need feeder tours, though.
You do, yeah. But how many? Do we
Right.
need 4 or 5? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
That's it with the T, guys.
All right. Good stuff. Let's roll right into our top dog of the week. I will start with my boy No Hat Pat. You guys know my love and affinity for Patrick Cantlay. Give me him on every Ryder Cup, every President's Cup. He's a thorn in the side of the competitors. I don't want to play behind him. I don't even know if I want to play with him.
Nope.
But I don't want to play against him because when he's hot, he's hot. He goes from 43rd to 19th, solo second, moves himself into the top 30. Harry, this guy must drive nothing but BMWs. To your point, he plays well there. So
I can just imagine a foursome of torture for Moose would be being grouped with Brian Harmon, Patrick Cantlay, and Tom Kim. I mean, you talk about you could do a podcast in between your shots with those 3 guys, right?
Greeny and I played Ticonderoga up here. First out, I wish Greeny would come out, but he's on a call. So we get to the course. We have the 7 a.m. tee time. We get there at 6:50. The lights are off still. Right. We arrive. Cool. The guy opens the shop at 7, and we go out at 7. So we get in the cart. We kind of know what to do now. We've been there. You get the cart. You drive around. Boom. Check in. We drive out. He goes, guys, 6:55. Go ahead, tee in the ground. So we go out. Greeny hits his tee shot. Of course, perfect tee shot right down the middle. Greeny, and we see a cart driving slowly towards us. He's like, hurry up, Moose, hurry up, hit. So now I'm like rattled. I put the ball on the ground. I hit it. I'm telling you, I put my club back in as this guy's pulling up to the tee box, and Greeny punches it, and we just drive away. So I guess he now has to wait. There's another twosome behind him. When we're coming back around like 3, Greeny dropped his towel. So the guy's like, hey, here's your towel. He comes up to us. He goes, hey, if you want, I can play with you guys. These guys are playing really fast behind you. And we're like, no, we're good, man. We're going to speed it up. We played in 2 hours and 43 minutes.
Wow.
God, impressive. Yeah.
That is impressive.
Cantlay would just ruin your day.
No, we couldn't let this guy jump in.
Cantlay be on the 7th green, 2 hours and 43 minutes. You kidding me?
Yeah. We were back before the family was awake here, getting ready for the day on the lake. So we're doing that again tomorrow. So
very good.
Awesome.
Love that place. That's terrific. My top dog. Sorry.
Okay.
Guys, go ahead.
I'll go.
All right. Well, I'll go with Wyndham Clark, but not for the obvious reasons of him winning the playoff event and his 3rd event of the season and maybe making himself player of the year, but for his girlfriend, the WAG. Very impressive. Apparently they've been together for about 7 months, and he's considering proposing for marriage. So, things, maybe this is what he needs to get his, between the year game, screwed on right. Maybe that's why he's playing such good golf. For the last 7 months, he's been with this woman. I don't even know her name.
Got to see if it helps Bryson, by the way.
Oh, I saw that.
Wait, did you see that thing come out from that influencer chick?
Yeah.
Saying, like the DMs and he sends her money, and like shortly after she turned 18,
right,
he was in the DM saying, "Come out and play," and she's like, "I don't know." He's like,
she's scared of him.
She's like, he's old. I'm like, old.
But
it was just, I guess, her being 18 and he's like 30. But she's like, yeah, and he still sends me money and this and that. And I'm like, is this true? Or like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, guys, my top dog of the week. You guys are going to be surprised at it, but Sam Burns. And I'm not picking Burns. I'm not picking Burns because of last week. Last week, T28 BMW. Believe me, I had him in 1 and done. I was angry.
I had him the week before.
You're lucky. 2 weeks ago. What? Why'd you?
Yeah, he didn't win.
Yeah, but T2?
Yeah, I needed a win.
But I'm picking him because of what's underneath. Like, he still leads the entire PGA Tour in strokes gained approach over the last 3 months, ahead of Scotty Scheffler. And even after an off week being last week. So mediocre BMW. He only dropped 2 spots in the standings from 6th to 8th. still safely into East Lake. It just, the putting and just you guys taking Wyndham and Cantlay had no other option. So I pulled up the stats, and Sam Burns is my top dog of the week.
All right. I love it.
But wait.
Thanks to our friends at Top Dog Law. Their bark has bite, Harry.
That's right.
Best in the game.
Well, guys, I don't know how I completely missed this with the tee, especially us being a Philly-based podcast. Gap Golf coming out with a major announcement. It's official. The 123rd Philadelphia Open will take place July 12th through 13th of 2027. Rolling Green Golf Club will host round 1. Following a cut, round 2 will take place at drumroll, Pine Valley Golf Club.
Yeah.
So actually, Brandon played in that. I think he said the last time it happened was like 2006 or something like that, where it was also at PV. Oh, but wow. Might have a guest for us. John Barone, formal Temple Owl, played golf there.
Yep.
He medaled the U.S. Mid-Am qualifying at Chester Valley with a 66. Greg Yarmus, Andy Butler, and a few others also advanced. But pretty cool.
Jarmus is also a 1912 club member, along with Barone.
Yeah. Great. So let's try to get John on shortly. He's a good guy.
Beautiful. All right, this is it. Tour Championship, $10 million to the winner. Everyone's at even par, unlike years past. You have Rory, who's won this 16, 19, 22. Obviously, Scotty had some success here. Bet Parx, Harry, we see the line here. Who is standing out to you in this event? A lot of people last week were talking a lot about Gary Woodland, too.
Including us.
Him.
I had him at top 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You had Tommy Fleetwood, whose first win was here last year. So this is this is a fun event. This wraps it up. It's going to be better, I think, in years to come. But this is what we have now.
Yep.
And no head start for anybody.
I can't look at this event and at this venue without thinking Xander Schauffele finally shows up.
Wow.
For the season. He loves this place, and he has been when they did the staggered start where Scotty would start out at 10 under par and other guys 8, and all that. They don't do that anymore, like you said, Moose. But Schauffele would beat anybody. He would be 4 or 5 shots back and play the best over the 4 rounds at this club. He loves this place. So I'm gonna have to go with him in one and done. He's the best player I have on the board left. I know he hasn't been good lately, but I'm gonna take him in one and done. I like JT too in a top 10. I know top 10s and top 20s and stuff don't pay much when there's only 30 players in the field, but he's kind of under the radar and playing better golf for 4 days. Like, he used to be a guy where 2 or 3 of the rounds would be good, but he'd have this one day that would just sort of take him out of contention, and he'd kind of be lost in the shuffle. I'll take JT in a top 10, and Woodland's another guy too. I think is playing really well. I loved him last week. I didn't have the stones to take him in one and done because I just didn't think he would be there 4 days in a row. He was. Yeah. So credit to him, and I'll take him in a top 10 as well.
Yeah, first tour championship since 2019.
Yep.
So good for.
That was the year he won the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, sure was. Danielle, who do you like this week? Did you take your one and done? Do you have anyone good left? I still have to open mine up and see, to be honest.
I have my best would be Victor Hovland, and then Ludwig.
Oh, Harry's boy.
Oh,
I'd
like to strangle him right now.
I have nobody good left. I dropped from 6th to 11th. It kind of defeated me.
Man.
I had 2 strong weeks, or 2 weeks where it really mattered, and despite every effort, forgot to lock in my pick and just kind of fell down the rankings. So a little deflated over here.
All right. We got some good guests coming up over the next couple weeks. We're back next week to talk about how the season ended with the Tour Championship. Thanks again to Tyler Nguyen, founder ForeLinksGolf. Check those guys out. If you didn't get a chance, go back and listen to Bennett Green from MyGolfSpy. A lot of great responses I got from that episode. So a lot of fun. Looking forward to connecting with those guys again, and I'll keep you guys posted and see if we sneak out in front of everybody tomorrow at Ticonderoga Golf Course.
Awesome.
Burn tires while somebody's trying to get to the tee box. Not our finest moment, but you got to do what you got to do when you're trying to play fast.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we'll be back next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Give it a listen, swing it, and ding it.